Today we're talking about flood insurance pricing in Alabama. You see, Alabama has some unique risks. Not only does it have the Gulf Coast, but you've got lots of river flooding like this in Birmingham, Alabama with Shades Creek, Cahaba River. You've got a history of flooding in areas of Birmingham and Huntsville, especially with land development, Tennessee River, the Alabama River. You got all these threats across the whole state. Or even over in Anniston, Alabama, where you have a lot of flood-prone issues. Down in Homewood, Alabama, where you have a lot of flood-prone issues. So when it comes to pricing in Alabama on flood insurance, it could be all over the board depending on where you're at. But it's important to understand when we're talking about pricing, what we see from a national average standpoint. And that is, we see with the national average with the National Flood Insurance Program around $1,000 a year. On a state average, if you take private and you put the National Flood Insurance Program together with our data, we're seeing an average amount of about $800 a year in the state of Alabama. Now, when it comes to pricing with the National Flood Insurance Program in Alabama, it's important to understand that flood zones are no longer used to determine flood insurance rates. Things that are used are like distance to water, the type of flooding frequency, the replacement cost of a building like this one right here, elevation of a property. These are all used in a pool to determine your rate with the National Flood Insurance Program in Alabama. On the private side, they look at things a little differently. They look at all the things we just mentioned. They also still look at flood zones in many situations. They also look at something called a flood risk scoring system. You can find your flood risk score here on our website. You can order it for free for your property to get an idea of what are your chances of your property flooding from 0 to 100. The higher this score is, generally the higher your private flood insurance proposal or quotes are going to be. This gives you an idea going in, hey, what can I expect as a homeowner? I mean, is this thing gonna be $400 this year and $4,000 next year? Tells you how close to water you are so that you kind of know, whoa, maybe I need to do some mitigation here to change this water source or something like this, or maybe I need to be cautious about buying this property. So this is what flood insurance looks like when it comes to pricing in Alabama. We look forward to educating you more on Alabama flood insurance coverage options and helping you get your Alabama flood insurance taken care of. Thank you.